get into the Proverbs 31 woman.
Yes.
Because for my non-religious, non-biblically familiar folks, explain who the Proverbs 31
and I was
woman
so
is.
oblivious that people didn't know that, But Proverbs 31 is a scripture that is in the Bible. It's not anything, I'm not trying to get people to believe in the Bible, but I definitely saw a woman that was taught to us as just being a wife.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, I'm the Proverbs 31 woman. And so how I kind of went back into it, I was asking God, like, okay, what am I supposed to be talking about? And I immediately saw a woman, a businesswoman. And he was like, you need to talk about identity. Like, I need you to go deep about the identity of a woman. And so I no longer saw a wife in there. It was a woman that was really about her business.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I first started studying it, I found 12 principles, and now I have about 14. But one of the scriptures that I teach when I talk about make, manage, and multiply is from Proverbs 31, verse 15 and 16. It says that she plans her day for her servants. And it says she inspects a field. She inspected a field. She bought it. And with her earnings, she planted a vineyard. So it's the make, manage, multiply. So I just saw a woman. I'm like, what woman?
The like epitome, the prototype.
Yes. It says that she plans her day for her servants. What woman has a servant? We use that word, but what it really means is a worker. That means she's busy.
Mm-hmm.
That means she's delegating tasks. She's taking care. She has payroll. She's taking care of people. And then it says she inspects the field. So she's already projecting that she needs to put her money somewhere. She's like, okay, I need to find where to put this money. She inspects the field. It says that she buys it, right? So she takes action. And it says with her earnings. So she bought something that was profitable.
Yep.
It was profitable. It didn't say that she waited. It said that with her earnings, she planted a vineyard. And so the planting the vineyard is something that is over time. Like you don't plant a vineyard and the next day you're eating grapes. Like you're over time. So she took her earnings and she didn't go buy Louis Vuitton
bag.
No,
Yeah.
which is not I actually don't have a designer bag. Like I don't care. Cause
Shut up, not one?
That's
not your thing.
No, because my background is Muslim and we went into Christianity, but I've never felt I needed to be validated by European people. So I just didn't. And
I got a bag. I do have a bag.
There's nothing wrong with a bag.
I appreciate you saying that because
No,
that is like a mindset shift for so many people.
Yeah, I just like I don't see anything wrong with it, and I don't even go like, oh.
But that's just not your. You're not measuring yourself to that standard.
My brain is not going there. I'm not like, let me go and tell people. No, like my symbol of like loving myself and symbols of like wealth is like, I want to make as much money as possible. I want to go build an orphanage. I want to house them in there. I want to train them, to position them, and then I want to get them like in the best position and deploy them for like my money. I want to spend it to multiply. So I just don't.
You're not even thinking like that.
I'm not even thinking like that. Like when we went to Africa, we got the condo, but I told my husband, I says, we need to find another place. And we found a house at the time. I wish we would have bought it. We didn't buy it. It was 13 bedrooms. And I told him, whatever house that we buy here, it has to have a garden because I want the kids that live there, I want them to learn how to plant their own food. And so my brain is just always like, okay, what's next? Because all that stuff would actually pay for, like, buy something that will pay for it.
Right.
I just don't.
That's not your thing.
No. And look, I hired a stylist and she was like trying to change, all this stuff about me. And I just was like, for some reason, my heart was not in her. I was like, I will wear all black for no. Like, I understand what people want.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give a little pop of red because I like red. I might have this or that. But my brain is just like on a deeper mission right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even care about people trying to count my pockets. It's like, stay on that. but the impact that God is going to make is going to be so huge.
Y'all gonna see it though.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. Okay, so but how are you presenting the profitable Proverbs 31 woman? Is it like a coaching program? Is it a course?
So that is my inner circle. That's my higher level. So we have Pretty on Paper, which is just lower level, the lower tier where people are learning about credit. But the Profitable Proverbs, they're learning about credit, business credit, and we're going to go and buy cash flowing assets.
And you're buying a vineyard.
And planting plant the vineyard.
I love it. Okay. Speaking of planting the vineyard, sowing the seeds, let's talk about these seeds, these 5 babies, because how the hell are you doing all of this with 5 children? And a whole husband.
I don't have an answer, honestly. I think I make things work. I see what I have and I try to make it work. That's all I do. And, I was previously married. So I have 2 kids that live with dad.
Okay.
But we're like literally 3 minutes away from each other, right? So I think the way I'm able to do it with all the challenges that I have coming with being a parent is letting go.
Hard. How do you do that?
Well, like the co-parenting thing, right? Some people would say, well, why would you let your daughters live? But I understood how vital my dad's role was in my life, right? So I can hold on to that and I can do the custody and the this and that. And I was just like, no, we're going to make this as easy as possible. We're going to stay close to each other and we're still going to be present. But I think me letting go of trying to fit into what society says a woman and a mom should be, like, I don't really care what people say a mom should be. I'm doing what works for me and I'm doing what works for my kids. And every single child needs something different.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I think once I released myself of trying to be the helicopter mom, trying to be the mommy and me mom, like, I'm not her. I'm not.
I really wanted to be her. It's hard.
No.
It's so hard.
I'm not her, and that's okay. But what I've seen is the mommy and me mom, she lacks identity sometimes.
Everything is about in that. Yeah.
Yeah, like people say, I'm a mom first. Well, I'm not a mom first. I'm a woman first. Because before I was a mom, I was a woman. Before I was a wife, I was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So like my identity is so into who God is telling me to be, and all the other things are accessories, And so that's how I look at it. People don't look at it that's fine, but it allows me to freely go out and build what it is that I'm trying to build, knowing that I'm positioning my children for what they want. Because like my 2 daughters, they're daddy's girls. Why would I fight that?
Mm-hmm,
you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to fight that.
Because you could be selfish like a lot of other people are because they want to hold on so tight.
For what?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I just don't subscribe to that. Like,
you know what first drew me to you? Because Anissa and I are part of a mastermind together, and I don't know how old my son was when I first started coming to the meetings, but homegirl pulled up with the baby stroller in the meeting, was taking the baby out, was nursing the baby in the meeting,
mm-hmm.
and I was just like, this is the epitome of I don't have no excuses.
None.
I'm showing up for myself.
Every time.
Baby, you just gonna get in, you gonna fall in line and y'all gonna deal with it. I mean, the sweetest baby, she didn't make quiet. A peep. She was quiet. Mm-hmm. She didn't make a peep. You wouldn't know she was there if you didn't see her. But I just felt like, wow.
Yeah.
That to me was like, nobody in this room has an excuse because homegirl showed up with this baby from California. Yeah. I still don't know how you was doing that long ass flight with that baby, but you were doing it. You've done it so many times.
I don't know. Like, I still don't have answers.
You just do what you got to do.
Yeah, I just do it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so last question before we get into the game. Advice for a woman out there who is divorced, is feeling like she's, losing faith in finding a husband, doesn't know how to get back out there. What's your advice?
I always tell people, like, if you get so busy working on becoming the woman that someone would marry, like, you don't really have nothing to worry. Like, I've never had a problem finding a husband. Like, never, ever. Because I wasn't really, my identity is not in that. I know that whatever man that's with me, he's going to get something really great, because before I even met my husband, I was working on Anissa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I met my husband in Africa, and I had no intentions on being married again, but I did ask God specifically for some things. So I think being very specific about what you want, and not letting your past kind of, because people will say, I don't want this. No, I said what I wanted, right?
Ooh, say it again.
Yes,
Stop focusing on what you don't want.
Yeah, because you'll get out of a relationship and you're constantly talking about what it wasn't, what he wasn't. It's like, he gone, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And to be just straight up, I mean, my ex-husband would probably still remarry me. Like, I feel like I'm just saying, like, I feel like I am the table. So I don't feel like someone is completing me. I feel like we are bringing together. So I think shifting, really understanding your identity as a woman could be a huge asset to the next relationship. Not taking your past into your present, and then stating what you want. Is it going to be perfect? No. I mean, I have a husband from a whole country. The way that he looks at things is just completely different. But that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't need someone to think like me. It's challenging sometimes, but I mean, it has opened other doors that I would have never, and I see the world differently because of him too. So I would say identity is key, knowing who you are. And that's what I talk about, the profitable Proverbs 31. And then the second thing I would say is, don't look for him. Just be her.